Algebra 1 6.2, we're dealing with solving inequalities with multiplication and division. Now the last section we dealt with was just addition and subtraction. Now when you're solving with addition and subtraction, I told you in the last video that all of the rules apply. Okay, for if you pretend it's an equal sign. So you treat the inequality just like an equal sign. But again, that's only when you add or subtract. When you multiply and divide, there's one twist to it. And it says here, when multiplying or dividing an inequality by a negative, you must reverse the inequality sign. So you can treat the inequality just like an equal sign. It doesn't matter. All the rules apply. The only time you have to worry about the inequality is when you multiply or divide by a negative number. When you do that, the only thing you need to do is just switch that inequality. Okay, when you're multiplying or dividing. Other than that, the rules are the same. You treat it just like it's an equal sign. But when you think, oh, I'm multiplying or dividing by a negative number, that's when I'm going to go ahead and flip the inequality, and then I just keep going. Alright? So let's try and solve. The first thing here is I want to go ahead and multiply both sides by 3. Right? Okay, this cancels out, and I end up with negative 1x is greater than or equal to 6. Then I want to get rid of the negative 1, so I'm going to divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1, and this is what happens. These cancel out, and I end up with just x on this side. But because I'm dividing again by negative, instead of greater than or equal to, it's going to turn to less than or equal to negative 6. Okay? One more time, the reason why I did is because I was dividing by a negative, and if I multiply or divide by a negative, I have to reverse the inequality. So because this is greater than or equal to, I flipped it to less than or equal to. Let's try it again. The next problem is negative 6a is less than or equal to 12, and they want us to graph it afterwards. So I'm going to divide this by negative 6. And again, I'm dividing by negative. This cancels out, I end up with a, but because I divide by negative, I need to flip from less than or equal to greater than or equal to. 12 divided by negative 6 gives me a negative 2. So if this is 0, this is negative 2, and this is 2, okay, I'm going to do open or close circle. Remember from last time, because there's a line underneath, it's going to be open circle, and it's all the numbers greater than a. Okay? The next one, okay, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 4. And again, I'm doing negative 4. This time I end up with a decimal, 14 divided by 4, which gives me 3.5. So I have z, okay, because I divided by negative 4, I'm going to flip it. Z is less than negative 3.5. And I graphed just the same. Here's 0, here's negative 3.5, and here's 3.5. Okay, I'm going to say that this, I'm going to find negative 3, and because there's no line underneath, I'm going to put open circle. Okay, and it's all numbers that are less than 3.5. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. Same thing as last section, except instead of adding and subtracting, you're multiplying and dividing. And one more time, because you're multiplying or dividing, you need to make sure that every time you multiply or divide by a negative number, not just any number, a negative number, you reverse the inequality. So go ahead and try page 332, numbers 6 and 8, 332, numbers 6 and 8, and I will see you in class.